Hi, in this section, we are going to go into more detail of the blood supply to the kidney. Specifically, we're going to look at arterioles and capillaries and see how blood travels in these really microscopic structures to functional units of the kidney. So where we need to start with is the cortical radiate artery, which came from the arcuate artery and is traveling in the renal cortex. And from this cortical radiate artery, we have an arteriole, which is going towards one of the functional units of the kidney, something that's called a nephron, which we'll learn about shortly. And so we're going to take the word that means carry towards, and that is afferent. So this is going to be an afferent arteriole. So on the wedge-shaped part of the kidney, just to orient you again, this brown part is the renal capsule. This all right here is the renal cortex. This reddish triangular part, that is a renal pyramid with the renal papilla down here at the point. So we have the afferent arteriole going to this structure. And that is going to be this one going towards this structure. As far as how you know this is the one going towards it and this is the one going away from it, that's covered on a later video. All right, and then we have a different model over here, which is the same. You know, ground yourself, find that renal capsule out there, find the arcuate artery, then you know this is the cortical radiate artery. We are going towards one of these little round tennis ball-like structures, so that is an afferent arteriole. So inside those round tennis ball structure, there is this thing here that looks like this bundle of yarn all mussed together. And what that is this is a capillary bed that does not do gas exchange. And the name of this capillary bed is a glomerulus. So on this model to the left, if you want glomerulus on this part of the model, you would have to have one of these cut in half so you could see what is inside it. Whereas on this other part of the renal model, it would be this inner part. So pointing to this inner part, that is the glomerulus. And so because this capillary bed, the glomerulus, does not do gas exchange, it means we don't go from artery, arteriole, capillary bed, venule, vein, because it's still oxygenated. So we have an arteriole on the draining side of this capillary bed. And so that is going to be called the efferent arteriole, and it's exiting the glomerulus. So that's very easy to identify on the model on the right. We have one afferent arteriole going into glomerulus and one efferent arteriole. On this other model, find your cortical radiate artery. You'll have an afferent arteriole going into this structure, and you will have an efferent arteriole coming out of it. And so go to this right one, afferent going in, efferent going out, and you'll see this one's going down towards the renal pyramid. In this case, this one is staying up here in the renal cortex. All right, so from the efferent arteriole, now we're ready for a capillary bed to do gas exchange, because we have to have a second capillary bed because we haven't done gas exchange yet. And so in the gas exchange that occurs in the renal cortex, you can tell because we're going from red blood vessels to blue blood vessels. So this is a capillary bed right here. And in the cortex, that capillary bed is known as the peritubular capillaries. On this other model, that's a little bit harder at first glance. Just find your arcuate arteries and stay between the arcuate arteries and the renal capsule. That puts you in the renal cortex. And so right here, we are going from red to blue. So this is where the peritubular capillaries are located there. Now, in addition to having capillary beds in the cortex, we do have capillary beds inside the renal pyramids and the renal medulla as well, but they are not called peritubular capillaries. They actually work differently, which you learn about in physiology, and they have a different name. So these are called the vasa recta. So they are located specifically in the renal pyramid of the vasa recta. So anywhere where you see red going to blue down there or over here, that is indicating this capillary bed. So now we have done this black part over here. So just to refresh your memory, we started at the aorta, then we branched to a renal artery, then in the renal medulla, over the renal pelvis, we had segmental arteries, which was then in a renal column became interlobar arteries, which then went across the superficial surface of the renal pyramid to form arcuate arteries. From there, we had cortico-radiate arteries. Here are the cortico-radiate arteries. From there, I'm going to go over to this side. We had afferent arterioles leading into a glomerulus. Then we had efferent arterioles exiting, going into a peritubular capillary in the cortex, or exiting, and as you can see over here on the right, efferent arteriole, then going down here to go into the vasa recta. From there, whether coming from peritubular capillaries or vasa recta, if it's going from peritubular capillaries, it's going to go to a cortico-radiate vein, and then both of these will drain into an arcuate vein going across here, which then becomes an interlobar vein, which then all coalesce, and we do not have a name change, but eventually they all merge together to form the renal vein, which then drains into the infravena cava. And with that, we are done with the blood flow to and from the kidneys. So thank you, and come on back and join us again as we look at some more microanatomy of the kidney.